Hello everyone, Lisa here. Welcome to What's Crafting Wednesday. I hope everyone had a wonderful week and if you were celebrating a nice 4th of July. Weather's been warm, but I loved summer. Okay, we of course are going to start with the drawing from last week's cards. I used the Country Birdhouse bundle last week. And I had 2 versions of the card, my sample where I had stamped the bird on real red, and 5 where I stamped on basic white. And the consensus seems to be that everyone preferred the watercolor bird over the one stamped on real red. So let me put my tickets in my trusty gold bag here. And let's see who we have. Okay, and the winner is Jennifer. Well, congratulations, Jennifer. I have these cards here for you. Okay, everyone. Last week I mentioned that I had a few ideas spinning around in my little head for the birdhouse set. And one of them that was going through my head was a beach hut. So hopefully you don't have to use too much imagination and you can picture this as a beach hut. And there's a little door that opens. So let's get started. I have quite a few things going on here. I use the Birdhouse bundle, which is new in the annual catalog, and the dies. And as a bundle, you do save 10% on the purchase of these. I also use the Sea Turtle stamp set, and this is a carryover set. And I used the starfish just for as a little embellishment on my beach hut. And I think that's all I used from this set. And I used the trucking along. I thought this here with the palm tree and a little surfboard and the ball was just super cute to add as a little decoration behind the hut. And I used it on the envelope. And I also fussy cut just some of the fronds so there were some palm trees inside the hut because honestly, I really didn't know what to put inside the door. And for the inside, I use the sentiment from Trucking Along, sending you sunny thoughts. I thought that was just... Okay, so let's get started. I used Summer Splash for my card base and my hut. And of course I have a basic white envelope, which I'll put off to the side. I have 2 pieces of basic white, and they're both cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And our card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to score that at 5. And of course I will fold this and give it a good crease on the score line and put that aside from now. I also have, let me pick everything up over here. I also have my die cut pieces all ready. And for tonight, in case you didn't know, this is a little deck in front of the beach hut. And those are the, I don't know, the stand in the sand. I used the new basic beige, but I thought it didn't show up a lot when I was finished. So tonight, for tonight's card, I'm going to use crumb cake instead. And then, of course, you'll get to vote and let me know which one you like better. So let's get started. And like I said, I have a lot going on here, different stamp sets. I've got on. I have some special cutting here, stamping. So where should we start? How about we start with getting our little beach hut ready? So I have this piece here, and I have these pieces, which again, the name escapes me what to call these. stands in the sand holding up the beach hut. Somebody help. So since I used basic beige here and I stamped in basic beige, tonight I'm going to use crumb cake and stamp in crumb cake. And I have this stamp here, and this is from the Country Birdhouse set, and it's just some wood graining. So for the deck, I'm going to stamp a crust. And then the next row, I'm going to offset it. And I might even turn this the other way. And then go back this way again. And do that a little differently also. Okay. And then, a better word, we'll call them legs right now. I stamped the wood going vertically. Yeah, you don't want to stamp exactly the same in each piece. Extra in there. Okay, so those pieces are done. And now this is the little tricky part. Let's hope I can recreate it. I am going to score. I don't know if you could see it, but I did some scoring on the beach hut here to look like the clapboard on the outside. Hope you don't have to use too much imagination to see that. And I scored it at every ½ inch. So I'm starting right here along the top of what would be the deck. And actually I should have it going this direction. Okay, so now I'm going to move this, my score line, and line it up with the ½ inch mark there. And then score and move it to the half. And I'm just going to do this for the whole length of the beach hut. Just gives a little definition, dimension, authenticity to the beach hut. Okay. And now I'm going to cut the door. Now this was the tricky part. Let's hope I can recreate it. And after I cut this, I realized I had the door opening that way. And I typically would have a door, I would think, opening this way. So I might cut it the other way. Let's see what way I put it in the paper cutter, if I get it right or not. So I cut this, I started at a ½ inch in on both sides. So I started and a ½ inch in. So I'm going to line that up there at a ½ inch, and then I'm going to score from that bottom score point oh my goodness, I had it at a ½ inch, I think. Yes, here's a ½ inch. Okay. All right, ½ inch. Sorry about that. Yes, ½ inch. I'm lining it up right there. So that'll bring me in a ½ inch. And I'm going to put my score blade to start at the bottom score there. And then I'm going up a little more than an inch. It's about an inch and 3/8, I'm thinking. Okay. Let me just see if my door measures, if that's the right measurement. Nope, let me go up a wee bit more. Okay. And now I'm going to turn it, and we're going to cut this time. So I'm going to line score there up with the 1/4 inch, and make sure I have this straight. And the 1/4 inch, and it's straight. And this time I'm going to use my cutting blade. So I'm going to eye this and put it hopefully even with the score there, and take it up to the score point. I can go a little more there. Okay. And now at this point, you could put your scissors in there and cut it, or you can put it back in the paper cutter if you get it lined up right, which let's hope we do here. It looks pretty good. Now I'll put my cutting blade in there and cut up. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to cut the top of the door as well. Now once you get this, the whole rest of your beach hut is easy peasy. Okay. All right, fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a little piece there, and just on the end right there. Okay, and there is our door opening. Give that a little crease. Okay, and now we will assemble. So I already have the pieces cut. I thought these were nice summery colors to use. I mean, I guess beach huts could be in any color. Bright colors, nice. Okay, and now I'm going to add the decking onto the bottom of the beach hut. Okay, just got a little fuzz there. I guess I need to replace my cutting blade. Let me trim that down. Okay. Yep, very good. And then these pieces here you could make however high you want. Of course, I cut them longer than they needed to be because we do want to adhere them on the back here. So, that looks good. And then we'll just add that one so they are the same length, so our beach hut doesn't fall over. Okay, and then I took just a piece of, just a piece of basic white, and I cut just to fit on the back there for when the door does open. And it really is just there to cover up the opening here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the back here. And then glue on. So we will let all of that dry. And then I have a little more stamping to do. We're going to stamp the starfish, and we're going to stamp the palm trees. So for that, I stamped in Old Olive. And I need one more. Okay. And I use watercolor pencils and a blender pen. Just bring my pencils in here. So just very quickly, I just used some of, what is this, Granny Apple Green, and just filled in the fronds a little bit here. And you really don't have to be very fussy with this. You're going to blend it out. And then I took a little bit of garden green, just went around a couple different places, added a little bit of darker in there to blend through. And then I think I used purple and pink. What do I have here? Gorgeous Grape and Melon Mambo. I'm calling this a beach ball, but maybe it's actually a floaty. Maybe I wasn't supposed to color the inside in. Well, it's a beach ball now. And then I colored in the surfboard here. There's a little orange there. And a little blue. And you know what? I didn't even need to color that one over there because the second one we are only using the fronds. Well, yes. So now I'm just going to go through and blend this color in. See, as I said, there's no reason to be really fussy about how you color this. You're just going to blend the color out. And no matter what you do, it's going to look nice. Clean that. And then just blend a little of this color. Okay, and now we do some fussy cutting. So I'm going to leave the bottom on here because that's going to adhere behind the decking. So I'm just going to quickly trim around here. As close as I can, don't have to be too particular about it. I mean, you really could get very fussy and trim a lot closer and neater, but I don't think that's necessary. And then this one here, I'm just going to cut out the fronds. And I'm going to be just a little bit neater with that there because I got to get the surfboard away from it. And then I'm just going to go around quickly. Paper snips are perfect for doing this. Okay, and then what I did with this was I just actually just right up the middle. So I'm going to adhere my snipped fronds inside my hut. So it looks like there's a palm tree off to the side there. And then the same thing with this one. I'm just going to trim that just a little bit more there. Okay. And I realized I'm gluing this, but I think on my sample I actually used glue dots to give it a little bit of dimension. So that was my, because I'm certain I used glue dots. Yes, I did. Okay, sorry about that. This one here is going to be flat where my sample here has a little bit of dimension to it. So definitely like it with the dimension. Okay, now since I have the door opening the other way, should I still put this on that side? Should I put it off on this side? No. Nope. Needs to go back on this side still. It doesn't fit well the other way. All right. Put a little bit of glue on the bottom. And then just going to fit that right behind there. So you're going to see the beach ball and the surfboard and a little bit of the palm tree. Okay. And then our door. Let me see if my door is the right size. How did I do with that? No, too long and too narrow. So let me get another piece of Daffodil Delight so we can make a better door. I cut this the size of my sample, but I guess this door I made a little wider, definitely. So I'm just going to cut right around here, and I hope I have the right width now. I think it's easier than grabbing the paper cutter and trying to cut the right size. So let's see if this door fits. Widthwise, I'm just going to take a smidge off. That looks good. And then just a little smidge off the bottom. Okay, door looks good. I guess my measuring on this one was a little off than the measuring on my sample. I can see the door does look wider. Just going to put it along where the score is so that the door will still open and close. Okay. And then I can now trim it a little bit there. Okay. And then I just need to make a doorknob, door handle, whatever you would like to call it. So this is what I had cut the beach hut from. So I saved that so I could punch this out. And I did use glue dot for this. I didn't want to use a dimensional. It was too much dimension because the beach hut will be popped up on the card. So I used a glue dot just to give it a little bit of dimension. And we will stamp the starfish now. I also had stamped the starfish in basic beige on the sample, so I'm doing that in crumb cake as well on this one. And again, just some fussy cutting here. Funny thing, when I first stamped the palm tree with the surfboard and ball, I was looking for a die to cut it out with. I forgot that set has a punch, not a die. So that was funny. And I use glue dots on here also. Again, just to give it a little bit of dimension so it's not completely flat. And you can also roll them up a little bit if you want a little more dimension. And I'm just going to round that a little better. And that's going up there. Okay, so do you see this as a beach hut? Come on, tell me you do. Okay, so now we're going to have a little more fun because I sponged the background of the card. And I used the blending brushes. And I started with some Daffodil Delight, because that's the sun coming down from that side. You just ink it up good. And when you do this, you always start off the edge and you bring it in. Bring it down into here. And then I used crumb cake for the sand. Again, just start off the edge and bring it in. And you can always go back and add more coloring. Actually, since this is sand, it doesn't even really matter if you get the splotches from not starting off on the outside, because it is sand and it is different colors and it blows and makes little mounds. Okay, I think that looks good. And then a little bit of think I used Pool Party. Yes, a little bit of Pool Party for the sky. I could have went with Balmy Blue, but I thought since we were Party has, you know, a bit of that greenish blue, it was a better choice to use. And again, with this, if you have like some swirls or something in it, that just adds to the authentic look of the sky. And then I took a little bit of Flirty Flamingo. And I just did a little bit up in the top here. And that was the sponging for this, my friends. So we will, oh, I had a little stamping too, almost forgot. I used here dots from the Birdhouse set. And honestly, I really don't know what they're for, but I thought they made great speckles for the sand. So I'm stamping full strength and then stamping second generation. Okay, there's some speckles in our sand. And we'll adhere this to the front of the card. And I used dimensionals to pop up the beach hut. And believe it or not, last night at class, someone told me I use a lot of dimensionals. Can you imagine? Yes, I do like to use enough dimensionals. I do have that fear. Won't hold, won't pop up right. So I'm going to use some strips from the sides here. Let's see, will that fit there? That fits there, okay. And get another strip here. And I'll cut this for the roof. And that looks like it's going to be too big. So let me take that and put it down there. And I have this little partial strip. Put that there. And then instead of cutting any more, I'll just add these in. Okay, so tell me the truth. Do you think I use too many dimensionals? Of course, you know, I don't think I do. All right, I'm going to try and use less. I'm going to try and be good. Let me see, I want to put one more. I don't know, I just can't help adding more. Okay, I'm going to push them off to the side. I won't use any more. So what is everyone's go-to method of removing the backings of the dimensionals? I tend to, as you always see me do, use the tweezers. Sometimes I use the tip of the snips, but mostly I use the tweezers. But I've seen people use the snips. I've seen them use the pick tool. So let me know what your, or I've seen some people, they just peel them right off with their nails or their fingers. So let me know what your go-to way is of removing the backings of the dimensionals. Maybe you have a better way than I do. Maybe you have a quicker way than I do. Just gonna center that on there. And gonna use a few rhinestones. Let's see what I did. I used a large one and a small one. And then it looks like I used a medium and a small And I'm going to say I put another small down there. Okay, and now we'll just do the inside of the card. And I sponged the inside also, but a little bit lighter than the front of the card. I didn't go as heavy with the sponging. So again, we start with the Daffodil Delight. We start off and bring it down because that's the sun coming in. So that's enough color for that. And then Crumb Cake. And again, I don't want this to be too dark. You'll be writing on this at some point when you gift the card to someone. And just to give it a little bit of color there. And now we'll add the blue sky. And when you do this, you can overlap the colors. You don't have to worry about keeping them separate. You can overlap them, blend them together. And now just a very little bit of Flirty Flamingo at the top of the sunshine. Did I get any speckles on the inside? I don't even remember. I did, but I stamped off with them. Some cake. And my stamp. And I'm just going to do a couple lightly. Okay. And then stamp the sentiment. And this says, sending you sunny thoughts. What better sentiment for a summer beach themed card? And that was stamped in Summer Splash. Now let's add this to the inside of the card. And lastly, we have the envelope, which is very quick and easy. I just need my Old Olive and just, so I'm going to stamp it with the surfboard and ball. I want to stamp it all the way to the bottom so it looks like it's coming up from the bottom of the envelope, not that it's floating in the air. And I'm just going to quickly also color this in like I did with the palm trees for the card. Very quickly, just going over it again. Just a little bit of darker green just to give it some definition. And let me see. Oh, I have yellow out also. The beach ball the same. Some purple there and some melon mambo. Okay, and should we do the surfboard different? Why not? Let's color that. Let's do some yellow. And I guess we'll use blue. Yellow and some blue. Add a little bit. And when you use the blender pen between colors, just make sure you wipe it off so that you don't bleed the colors together. Blend that out a little more. Okay, now let me just take a look. Thought I had added, no I didn't. Originally I was going to put the surfboard and the ball inside too, but it looks like I did not do that. Okay, my crafty friends, here is tonight's card. My original sample, done in basic beige with the door opening to the left. And then the card I just made now using crumb cake and the door slightly wider, opening to. So I can't wait to let me know what you think about tonight's card. Do you envision this? Can you really see this as a beach hut? Please don't tell me you're still seeing a birdhouse. But seriously, let me know if this does look like a beach hut to you. And which color wood decking do you like better? What do you prefer, the lighter basic beige or the deeper crumb cake? Okay, everyone, as always, thank you for tuning in, joining me, watching me stamp, for your comments that I hope you're going to leave. And just to let you know, we do have bonus days going on right now, month of July. For every $50 purchase, you receive a $5 bonus coupon to redeem in August. So that's nice. That's like getting 10% back on your purchase, right? Okay, everyone, have a wonderful and crafty week, and I will see you back here next week. Thanks.